How has this happened? Why
I don't know. I don't know. I'm scratching my head all morning.
I only found out today that you actually live in the UK.
I do. I have for a couple of years now. Actually, more than a couple of years.
What made you want to move here?
I don't know. I just found something enriching and charming about life here, and gardening, cooking, all these things, and the weather I love.
You love the weather.
I do. I have to argue with every English person. They always want to argue with me. Why?
We had a tweet in from Debbie, okay, viewer of the show, who said, "What's the most memorable moment that you can remember about you and your dad?"
I think he and I on the top floor of Graceland. There's his bedroom and my bedroom, and he set up a station for himself in my room. So he had a couch and a table and a television. And so I could wake up at any time or, be in and out of my room, and he would just be sort of planted in my room. And I spent a lot of time with him alone. And that was, very significant for me.
Now, last month marked the 35th anniversary. You haven't been to one of those?
I've been to, I go every 5 years. And sometimes in between. I always go as much as I can. But what we didn't attend was the actual candlelight vigil that takes place. We usually watch it from the house. I have never gone down to street level, as they call it, where it started. There's a bit of a stage and an introduction to the whole procession that goes on. So we made our first appearance, my mother and I, down at the bottom of the street this year.
What is it like, seeing all the fans there and stuff?
I don't think I could explain it unless you were there and you could see it. The whole entirety of the street is just candles, and then there's a never-ending stream of them going up and down the driveway all night for, maybe 12, 15 hours.
How much of your dad's music has influenced your style?
I think that his music is always was put into, my DNA very early.
Yeah.
So it does, in this particular album, I suppose, it's because of the nature of it, it's a lot more rootsy, bluesy, and stripped down, and I think that it definitely has more elements of him.
Well, this is the album.
Not that I could ever sing like him, by the way. Okay, I'm not trying to say that, but it is. Yeah.
And this is the album.
Yes.
Storm of Grace, released 2 days ago.
Yes.
It's fairly stripped back, this, isn't it?
It's very much, yes.
And why the change?
I really didn't have a plan. Simon Fuller was a very good friend of mine. So I asked him, he had offices here, if I could just come over here and see what happens. It was kind of an experiment. I wasn't listening to any music in particular, and he just sort of set me up as a friend. He wasn't managing me yet. And he put me with so many different people, kind of as an experiment, like Richard Hawley and Ed Harcourt and Fran Healy from Travis. And the sound just started to happen, and it was really natural. And America's been saying, why do you go and write an Americana record and a rootsy record in England? And I just said, I think that it's because the English probably appreciate it way more than we do, and probably know the history way more than we do, and it felt more natural here for some reason.
Are your kids following in that sort of... Because one of your daughters is an actress.
That's right. My daughter Riley is she's 5 movies this year, and she's currently actually in Namibia shooting Mad Max. So she's doing really well. She actually flew here and surprised me the other day. So
nice.
That was nice.
See, this is the one thing I love to find out, especially about someone of your sort of status. What's the most bizarre thing that you've ever either been given by a fan or been sent or just happened?
I wouldn't say this was bizarre, but it really blew my mind. I really didn't know what to do with it. The last tour I was just on in the U.S., their daughter had passed away, and she was putting her ashes in a guitar and wanted me to sign it. And I was really... I'm not saying this in a disrespect. I was really moved.
Yeah.
I couldn't really process that, and I don't know. My hand was shaking. I was honored, but I was floored, and that kind of really blew my circus.
Yes, you won't forget that.
Yeah.
It's lovely to have you on the show.
Thank
Please, you. Look, you must come back.
Well, I would love to, and thank you for having me.
And good luck with the album.
Thank you.